Hey there, guys. Welcome to another episode of The Life of the Lost. I'm Sam.
And I'm Megan.
And this week's episode is sponsored by Brown Lab Media. Brown Lab Media is focused on creating and promoting original content, personal brands, businesses, or anything media related by people of color. Maybe one of the reasons why I was a little bit slow on that intro is because I was just thinking about Brown Lab Media and I was trying to figure out a way to express why I like Brown Lab Media. I definitely am really a huge supporter of what they're doing. I love that they're really trying to engage up and coming entrepreneurs, creatives, anybody who's willing to learn and ask questions. And I think that that's really important, especially, from people who look like us. And because, like I said in the last episode, I don't see too many people like that really dominating in any field of anything. So, if you have a chance, feel free to check them out as well. They do have a Discord channel now, which is one of the reasons why they wanted to do that was just because they wanted Discord is a more intimate way of talking and interacting. And if you guys have any questions about Brown Lab Media, sorry, I said that weird. You can feel free to, check out that link. It's also in the website of www.brownlabmedia for more information. And so sorry about that. Moving forward.
No reason to be sorry. It's kind of a slow start, I think, this week. It's been there's so many things I wish we could talk about. There's so many things that sometimes I wish we could pretend the camera's not here, pretend that we're not on podcast and just start. But with everything, it just takes time and it takes patience to wait until you're able to talk about certain things. A good example would be the other day I was on yesterday actually. I was on Snapchat, and you know how sometimes those little memories, you get a little red dot and it says like a memory of a picture that you once posted. And so there's little I'm scrolling through and I'm seeing one that I think was about 2 years old, and I'm just I'm in a beanie and I'm taking a selfie and I have this fake ass smile on and there's multiple, and I just look sad. And I just remember, taking myself back to that moment and thinking about all the things I was dealing with and remembering that at the time I really couldn't talk about it at all. And looking back, and now, being able to look back 2 years later thinking like, damn, I can kind of talk about that now. I think sometimes we have like a protected guard to make sure that, you don't say too much, or, I don't know what it is. You don't want to bring other people into it. You don't want people kind of into your business. But I feel like sometimes once you go through it and you're able to look back because you've overcome it, it's easier to talk about. So just kind of how this all kind of goes into it. I just think that sometimes we all just kind of need to recognize each other that, we're human, that there's things going on. Sometimes it's not going to be that fast, like, what's up, guys, kind of thing. Like, although you'd always want that, you want that energy always, but.
Yeah, I know some people who are always like that, interestingly enough, and I was always very impressed with their resilience, or I don't even know, resilience, shallowness, I'm not able to conceive deep emotional conceptual things. I don't know, could be all of it, could be none of it.
But then you have to think, is it a show? Is it for show?
That too. I guess that's what I was like, kind of in that retrospect where it's like shallow. You're shallow because you're always trying to please somebody else. You're not necessarily trying to care about how you feel or what you want. It's always, oh yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I'm down, let's do it. So yeah, I'm not trying to hate, I'm just definitely not that. And I truly respect people who can actually do that, whether they fake it or whether they're genuine. To me, it looks genuine. So I'll take it as that. And I'll just say that, I'm pretty impressed. And I was just thinking too, today it was really like busy day at work, and I'm doing a lot of things, and I just I was really excited to like come home and work, and then there were like 3 hours. I still had 3 hours more to go in my work, and then I left, and I just remember walking out the door of the building and just being like, dang, like, why do I do this? Like, why do I do anything? Like, the thought process started with, gosh, I have no time. I don't, like, I have to go home now. I don't have, like, what. I remember, I just was thinking to myself, like, remember, Sam, when like you had all the time where you could do anything? Like, it was like 6 and you're just like 5:00, 5:30, and you're like, wow, sun's still up. Like, what are we gonna do? Who am I gonna call? Like, what, let's link. Like, what, and I find myself sitting here like, dang, I can't. One, because I have obligations. Two, because I just don't really want to, because I'm tired. I need to, figure out, conserve strength and energy and for the next day, because I wake up really early and I can't really be out late even if I wanted to, because I don't want to. Yeah. I want to wake up early, and I want to make progressions in my songs. So it's like interesting, because I took a step back, and I'm just like, wow, like just observing my life in a third person, just being like, is this like, I guess it's a good thing that you have a lot of things going, because if you don't, what would you have been doing? I don't know. Like, but it does, I guess the moral is what I'm trying to say too, on top of like all that spiel. You've heard that from me, but I guess I was, for the first time, I was genuinely scared. I was scared that I didn't have enough energy to keep pace with the progressions of the daily moves that I'm making with music. A lot more time is needed. A lot more patience is needed. And I don't have, it's not even time. I'm not, like, my energy level is very, very low. And I need to figure out how to change that, because at this rate, I'm going to burn out. And this is just an open thought. I have no answers, really. That's just one of those things that I feel like I'm going to have to feel out or burn out and deal with it then. Like, those are my decisions. Those are the options. So, yeah, anyways, just,
I think it's a good thought to have, because I think sometimes too, you don't give yourself enough credit for the outside things that people aren't seeing. And we obviously don't have to get into it, but little Ladka,
the little blind boy, has found his way here into our recording studio, and is just walking around, just
causing
bumping
ruckus.
Things. Yeah, so
if you hear anything in the background, his head is running into a bunch of things right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll find his way out.
Yeah.
But I just feel like life happens, and I think the reason I'm also thinking about this too is I got a message in a group chat today, and it was early in the morning, and somebody was just bummed out, and they're talking about how they had already been crying today for whatever reason. We don't have to go into it, but I think we all forget that we are human, and that there's only so many things that we can handle at once sometimes. On the outside, it's kind of like, oh, well, you're only doing like podcasts and music, and you do video games on Tuesdays, me just looking at you. And I just think that sometimes we have to take a step back and kind of understand that there is so much more to everybody. There's so much more to just being you, to dealing with the things that you have to deal with on a daily basis. And that doesn't even include the criticism that you have on a daily basis. It just deals with you waking up in the morning, and sometimes that's hard for people, and I just don't think we give each other enough credit, and maybe we're not giving each other enough love. Like, maybe, I don't know, I think it's hard for people. He's standing.
Yeah. No,
he wants to come up.
It's just one of those things that I agree with you. I mean, in theory, that might work, but I guess I don't know. Maybe I don't. Maybe I just have a different mindset. Maybe mine is just kind of more like I don't know. I don't even know a word to describe mine. All I'll just say is that like sometimes I feel in my life that there, that someone's like, "Yo, you all right?" I was like, "Nah, man. Nah, I'm not all right. You know, is there anything I could do to help you? Nah.
Have to find your way.
Sorry, man. Just can't."
Yeah.
And and that's like I don't know. It's like sometimes I feel like that's me right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I wanna I wanna feel good a lot, but what happens when like feeling good is really like hindered on like your progress. I'm not trying to like lean everything on my progress, but I feel proud about progress I made. So when I don't make progress, I don't feel proud. I don't feel like I did anything, and somebody could tell me, "Oh yeah, you did X, Y, and Z." And I'm just like, well,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't feel it though. Like I'm better than this. Oh, but you did so, but I don't feel like I did though. Like I'm better than this. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm failing to acknowledge the things I do good at, but sometimes I feel like when I do, it doesn't really make me feel any better. It just feels like I'm putting like a band-aid on a wound that's like needs stitches or just needs to heal very slowly, properly, but like band-aid might not.
Well, it's interesting too because even if you do make progress, say we're talking about music, and you release something and you get it signed or whatever the case is, it's kind of that human emotion of just always kind of wanting more, right? Because you're not going to stop. You're just going to keep going.
Yeah.
And you're kind of going into this cycle, right, of like feeling really good because you have a really great song, getting into it, getting into the mixing, kind of feeling like there's situations and there's progress that could be made and kind of getting into that, sending it to get mastered, whatever the case is, you're just kind of going in this circle and it's just kind of, it always comes back to, is it wanting more? Is it wanting to do better?
Yeah, I think it's wanting more. I think there's nothing, it's just human instinct to always want more. I don't know whether that's good or bad. I don't know, I don't know what to make of it. I don't even think I'm old enough to understand. All I know is what I want, and I don't really know the consequences of that. I don't really know if that's a good or bad thing in the moment. Maybe when I look back and everything, I'll be able to assess things, but right now I can't. And right now I don't have time, unfortunately. We only got one life. So I'm just honestly rolling the dice on the belief that this is what I want to do. I want to be able to make a living, playing music, DJing, getting my songs traction on, the music apps, Spotify, iTunes, and keep on going, getting bigger and more successful because that's what I always wanted as a kid. I just wanted to create music that so many people could just feel, like just feel what I felt when I was 8 years old listening to Creed in my closet with the lights off, like just dead ass crying because of how beautiful these songs were, and I didn't even know what they meant. It's just the frequencies and the tones. It just was just, oh man, it was just amazing. And I always wanted, that's my goal, to maybe give one person that feeling. If I give one person that feeling and they can take that away and truly honestly feel that they can think and they can dive into their mind and feel all of these emotions in their life with these things that they're going in their life, then I truly think that I'm a success, and I truly feel like I made it, like I did it, like I accomplished my goal. Like that's all I want at the end of the day. So it's interesting because I pretty much on the lines of like helping people, right?
Yeah, but I think it's good to talk things out too, because it's like, as much as you might feel like you're having a down day, it's kind of cool to be able to look back on it too and to remember these moments, just like me looking at that picture, remembering these moments that moment of like how hard I was struggling at the time and how I was trying to fake being something, and ultimately being able to help somebody when you're talking about it, right? And I think that's the coolest part. I was just curious, 60-year-old Sam looking back at you right now, what do you think you'd tell yourself?
I'm proud of how far you've come. Because, I don't know, think of it as however you want, but something tells me that I have a good feeling on where my life is going to go. And something tells me that all this hard work, all this pain, all this suffering will produce some pretty substantial golden nuggets, in my life. I don't know what they are, but I think that it'll all pay off. I think everything I'm doing will all pay off somehow. I just have a feeling.
So you might tell yourself to just keep going.
You're saying like what would 6-year-old me give advice to myself now?
Yeah.
Yeah, to double down on what makes you you. And to never lose sight of that. Doesn't matter what's cool in the moment. Doesn't matter what's trending in the moment. You take a deep dive into yourself and you figure out what you believe in and you figure out what you think will work and you just push and you just do everything you can to learn everything you can about that specific thing that you believe in and how you think you can do it. And you just attack it. Just attack it like an angry dog that has nothing else to live for and that's on death row. You just attack it and you just don't stop attacking it. Because what's going to happen is you're going to wake up and you're going to find that, holy shit, someone liked my song enough to want to represent it on their label.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. What?
Is that weird that it's already happened?
Yeah.
Once?
Yeah, it is. It is weird. It is validating. Mm-hmm. But it also burns a fire in me because I know I could do better. Mm-hmm. Way better than how I felt. It's in there. It's all in here. It's all in your head.
Yeah. Isn't that weird to think about?
How to get it out. Exactly.
Yeah,
How to get it out.
It's the weirdest
thing. Unscathed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
It's all there. And I think that Laka's over here burping and farting, so sorry guys.
He's just lonely.
He just wanted to be held.
Because he's instantly relaxing.
And it's frustrating because he doesn't ever want to sit down right away. He's so stubborn. So I'll try to grab his legs and sit him down. And now you'll watch, if you're watching, you can see him kind of slowly go down. But
his eyes are already. Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's stubborn. But no, it's good. It's good to talk these things out. It's good to understand that the answer's inside somewhere, and I think it's hard to see it through, especially when you're in a moment, when you feel like you're kind of in crisis or feel like you can't get out. Just to kind of remember the tiniest moments of how proud you were when you got signed. Maybe just remember these tiny moments that kind of got you to where you are, because things weren't always like this and things aren't always going to be like this. Maybe things get worse, but maybe things get a lot better. And I think that as long as we sit here and we kind of find ourselves in these moments and we're really feeling them for everything that they're worth, we don't need to sugarcoat it. We don't need to say oh, everything's going to get better, just keep on working. No, if you're in the moment, just feel it out. And I feel like that's one of the biggest thing I've learned from you is to kind of just be in the moment with your thoughts and your feelings and ride it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely chose to embrace that, this feeling of just being not okay,
Yeah.
It's like, fuck everything, yo. Fuck this, fuck that. I don't care. Fuck it. It's bullshit to me. And I just let it pass.
Yeah. It's kind of nice, though, because it kind of hypes you up. Like, I know it kind of hypes me up sometimes when I get really upset or angry or something. Just kind of like a drive, I suppose.
Yeah, it's weird. Different kind of drive, too. Like, you know, there's one thing being angry, but then there's another thing, like, feeling an intense rage of motivation.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, sometimes I feel like that when I hear a song that's really good.
Huh.
Fuck.
It's just like the other day we were
damn studio, man.
I was nursing a hangover and I was sleeping and it was in the middle of the day and you're like, oh, and I was like, what is it? And I was kind of upset because you woke me up. I was like, damn, like I feel like I just got to sleep. And you're like, look at this. And it showed me something or read me something, whatever it was. I was pissed. It wasn't anything I was pissed at you at, but it was something that, you know, somebody else had done. And I was like, that's it. Like, I'm wide awake. I did not feel good earlier, but I am wide awake. And I came in and I was cleaning and I was doing all these things and I was getting some work done. And I was like, damn, it's funny how, you know, you get these spurts of motivation. Maybe it's out of anger. Maybe it's out of fear. Maybe it's out of whatever it is. But I guess as long, like you say too, as long as you do something with it and not sit on it too long.
Yeah.
Ooh. But I know we've kind of been following up on, we've kind of been talking about the book that I was writing and then the notebook that I was journaling in when I was in Peru. And as much as I really want to get into that, you know, I like this. I like kind of sitting in here in this moment because... Oh, he's snoring, guys, if you can hear him. I like sitting with it. I like sitting on it and thinking about, you know, what you're going to do with these times. And it's not always easy. But I guess that's just the evolution.
Yeah. That's for sure.
It's all a part of it. All the good, all the bad. It's a part of it. And I guess it's interesting, you know. My family came for the weekend. It was my birthday. They surprised me. It was a hell of a weekend. And I was just kind of meditating on that today, too. Sometimes I think we have experiences, and I know while I was, after they surprised me, we were walking down the street, and they had surprised me. We had gone to a restaurant, and we were eating, and we were drinking, and I was kind of sitting with myself in that moment. I was looking around, and it just felt so surreal. I hadn't seen my family in a year, and I was just like, this is happening. This is happening. And it was just such a weird, I've never really been in the moment, I think, with myself, been able to be in the moment without thinking of what I'm going to do next, where I'm going to go next, you know, who I'm going to see, what I'm going to say. And this weekend was nice because I think for the first time in a long time, I was able to kind of sit with myself and be with myself while I was around other people and not really worry too much. And it was nice.
Yeah, it was nice. Forgive me if I look tired. I've been up since 4:30 in the morning.
I was surprised.
Yeah,
You jumped out of bed.
Because I do not work good at night. I just don't.
Yeah.
So, but I also know that I need more time. Hence, wakes up at 4:30. You know, like,
Yeah.
shit. So.
Well, I think when things get so overwhelming, today I'd written like the categories out. I woke up a lot later, but it hurt me in the long run because then I started work obviously a lot sooner than expected, And I realized that I have so many things to do. So I wrote out categories of the things that I need to do. And then kind of started working backwards. Like maybe if I spend an hour each on each category, would that be enough? I don't know. It's one of those things like, do you focus on one thing, but then all the other things kind of get behind? It's hard.
Jack of all trades is a master of none.
Mm-hmm. But what do you do when you kind of have to put on all these caps, for the most part?
Well, you consolidate it, I guess. Just find out what's the root of everything. If there's one thing that's gone, can the other still function or not?
So I'm like looking over there because that's my list. I'm like, yeah. I really didn't want to do a podcast today. This week has been really overwhelming and like seriously emotionally draining. Like so emotionally draining.
Maybe that's why I'm tired. Like, maybe that's why I'm all effed up.
Yeah, like this week, it's only Wednesday. This week was so out of control already that I'm having a hard time actually like wrapping my head around a lot of the things that already happened. And it sounds so like mysterious, like what's going on, guys? But
it's just life.
Yeah.
And one day we will tell you
everything
when I feel comfortable enough to share that with you.
Yeah.
And right now in the moment, I am feeling completely vulnerable and very scared and very nervous because shit's scary. Shit's real life adult stuff that I didn't think I was going to ever have to do. Mm-hmm. But I will do because, that's my responsibility as a human being. To do what's right. So.
Yeah. And to do what's right is never easy
thing.
And I think once again, it's going through it. And I think that the reason I wanted to come on here today is to be consistent. And I was looking at our podcast and I was looking at listeners and the amount of people who are listening and on a weekly basis, constantly listening. And I know before we've been kind of like, miss a week or two or maybe even 3. And, it always bummed me out. But I also kind of understood that there's times where we just kind of have to take a break a little bit to kind of figure other things out. But I wanted to come on here because I just wanted to show myself, along with the people who are listening, that we can still be consistent even on days, even on weeks, even on like months where things have just kind of been like emotionally a little bit out of control. And I just want to show too that it's not always like I said earlier, like sunshine and rainbows, like you said, it's hard sometimes. And with growing up, I was having this conversation with somebody the other day, just thinking like, if I were to tell myself at like 25 that when you turn 30, you're going to be doing A, B, C, D, and you would have had gone through all of these things, I would have said like, no, you can take it. Like, I'm not going to go to New York. I'm going to stay in Minnesota. I'm going to keep my little 9 to 5. I'm going to keep my little apartment, and I'm just going to call it a day. And I think that now coming here and having gone through so many things, I just can look back and be super, super proud that I went through them, but it doesn't make it any easier. And it's just hard.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. Even growing up here, thinking, I don't even know where I thought I'd be when I was 30. I wasn't thinking that far ahead, believe it or not. I had ideas. I mean, I'm still trying to have what I envisioned when I was a kid to bring it into fruition. But in terms of like the nitty gritty stuff, like, yeah, I just suppose like I'd throw around things like, Oh,
Was that you?
yeah, I'm pretty hungry if you could hear that. There's, certain things that I thought that I'd, do. Maybe graduate like college, have a job to a certain extent, but like, that definitely didn't happen the way I thought it would happen, especially with school, going, first of all, like I was not prepared at all to go to school, college mentally. I don't know, just was burnt out of high school. I just, the thought of going back to school after you just graduated from high school is just ridiculous. And honestly, maybe if I could go back, I wouldn't just jump into, college right there, and maybe would have taken a break, but I got through it though. And then right after college, I just crashed hard. I got my associate's degree, graduated, crashed hard. Wanted to fulfill and get my bachelor's degree, but I was like, fuck it. Only to realize that life took a hold of me, and I graduated like just last year or something.
2020.
Yeah, so didn't think that I'd be, what was the age you said? 20, 30, 25?
How old are you now? Or 25 looking up to 30.
Yeah, I didn't think that I'd be 25 and still not have finished school. So that's just one instance that really kind of like threw me back.
Yeah.
Even just thinking, I was grinding, like going to a 9 to 5 job. First of all, at the time, I told him, I was still going to school, but
He didn't tell his job.
Yeah. So I got the job, and so I was like hustling through school, and then after sorry.
Wait, did you tell them that you graduated college?
No, that's the thing. I didn't tell him I graduated college. I told him I graduated college because I did technically graduate college, but I didn't have my bachelor's degree. So, but anyways, they gave me the job. I didn't say I didn't graduate college.
Right.
So I'm not lying to them. They just never really asked, and I never really spoke up.
Yeah.
So, so I was doing that. It was intense. And then I was going to school, literally, like 2 times a week, because I had a Saturday class.
3 times. You were going 3 times a week. You were waking up.
But I had a Saturday class, didn't I?
There was one semester you did have a Saturday class, but you were actually waking up around maybe like 5. You were getting ready. You were going to the gym. You were packing your lunch. Then you had your 9 to 5. Then you had school around, actually it was like 5:30. It was technically supposed to be until 6, but your classes started around 6, so they let you out early on those days.
Yeah.
Then you had class from about 6:30 to about 9:30. You weren't getting home till about 10. And a lot of the time you tried to, leave class early and get home a little earlier because you would wake up the next morning and do it again. I think that you had one semester, it was 3 times a week.
It was brutal.
Yeah, and then a weekend Saturday class.
Dickhead teachers, some cool teachers, some teachers I enjoyed, but a lot of dickheads.
Well, it sucks because it's like you're in college, you have to work. Some people have families, some people have like jobs, some people have all these other things. So to be understanding and to be a teacher, like I get it. Yeah, like math is important, or I get it. Like certain classes are important.
This ain't like no fucking like Stanford, where there's like fresh out the freaking womb kids from high school going, dorming, spending their whole life in school.
Right.
I understand that. This is, it was a state school. It was very like blue collar, like people were hustling to get these degrees because they needed to get better pay and get better jobs, so there's a whole different community of people going to these schools in general. I don't think that's the only one.
Yeah.
Compared to like, I don't know, out of state schools, even art schools like RISD and like Pratt and FIT. No, maybe not FIT. FIT is like a state. So I'll say just RISD and Pratt because those are like private schools, just like Stanford, just like Harvard. Well, those are like Ivy League schools, are even way different. But just like that traditional kind of like big university campus, go dorms, has that college experience. You know, then I'd be like, yo, like, dude, what are you doing with your life, man?
Yeah.
You're like 22, like paying with your parents' money right now. Like, come on, guy. I'm gonna be a little hard on you because you need a little discipline. you know, so, I don't know. Oh, it was too high. It shut off.
It was too high.
Hot.
Too hot?
Yeah.
Um,
Darn.
no, I bet you it was just the charger didn't start.
Yeah.
If you just press the charger, it'll be fine.
All right.
But it's okay. We can keep it off if you want to.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, sorry about that.
The camera just
went off, but you know, you can still hear our voices. Hold on, I'm gonna just check if that will turn on. I mean, I can try again.
Yeah, I mean, we can wrap it up. It's been a day. It's already been a day. And I'm probably going to try to edit this and knock it out tonight, so.
Yeah, well, I commend you for that. Yeah. Bless you.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's not easy. Sorry, guys who are watching via visually. Camera just turned off, so, yeah, so, no. So anyways, looking back, I'm like, Jesus. One, I'm like, dang, I wasn't where I wanted to be. But two, I was like, God dang, I was hustling. Shit. And my college was in Brooklyn. I lived in Upper West Side Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what the fuck? That's a fucking trek. Mm-hmm. Going from Midtown Manhattan to Brooklyn to Upper West Side Manhattan. Mm-hmm. Every fucking time. So, anyways. So I guess, you know, I do take some pride or some kudos for, you know, hustling through it and getting it done. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it could always be worse, you know?
You finished, and that's what matters, you know?
Mm-hmm. You know, and I scooped a job. Could, better for worse. Obviously, I'm, as you can see, which is what I started off with this you know, episode is just, you know, it's just struggling. I'm struggling with figuring out a balance. I don't want to wear myself too thin, and I don't also want to slack off at work either. So coming to figure out a conclusion will be best for me. And it's also cool because, you know, I did voice out to my bosses for whatever reason that, you know, to delegate certain workloads off me and give it to somebody else will hopefully help me feel a lot better and not as burnt out at work. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how that goes. I will keep you guys posted on that.
It's important to stay honest, you know, especially when they ask you. You never know what you're actually going to get from that. You don't know if they're going to use that against you or if they're actually using it to help you. So it's kind of one of those situations. And
it is. And I take it with nothing. I feel confident in what I say. And if you want to go ahead and use it against me, by all means, you can. Shove it in my face. Tell me that's why I am no longer an asset to the team. And I'll be on my merry way, knowing that I was just trying to tell you what I needed.
yeah.
So if it doesn't work for you, then I respect that, and I will find my way because I always have and I always will. So.
And I think it's cool because you're also getting, you know, kind of rewarded with, you know, your boss and people kind of letting you know that you're doing good.
Yeah.
So I think that's what matters too.
Yeah, it's actually surprising. Like, you know, he's been giving me a lot of compliments.
I'll take that out. I'll take that part out.
My bosses have been giving me a lot of compliments, and it's really dope, you know, to
especially
see
because
that,
he's a hard ass.
Yeah, so it's dope to see that both of them, I have two different bosses, acknowledge that, because I was, and I am trying to deliver a really good quality product. And I think the camera's about to die again.
Oh, man.
Because as it goes low like that, when it does, it's not going to die. It's just going to like overheat.
But that's so strange. Like, what do you think it's overheating off of?
I don't know. But when this
There's
ends,
too
I will look at why that is that way.
Yeah, it'll be all right. Sorry, guys. This wasn't like a happy-go-lucky episode, but, you know, it's life. And I think that it's kind of cool to be able to kind of put, obviously not all of it out on the table, but to be able to just kind of say, like, look, like, we're having one of those days. It's been a little rough. We'll get through it, because we always do. But in the moment, it's just a little rough.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to be sleeping like right now, like Lauka, but There's work to be done.
There is. And and if you guys have any questions or just want to comment on anything we said, feel free to reach out to us. Again, our door is always open. You can always come and hit us up on Instagram or like email. I don't know, email us, Facebook message us, anything, any way you can contact us, please do so. I'd love to hear what you have to say and just hear from you. I appreciate anyone who listens, and I truly value your attention. It means a lot to me. And on that note, hope you have a good rest of the week. Take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. Mm-hmm. And we'll see you next week. So stay tuned, guys. Peace.